So, you are on the fence about whether to buy or jump into Star Citizen. Well, I am a longtime backer with countless hours invested into playing Star Citizen. I've been here since the beginning and joined officially in 2016. I've seen and heard it all. I aim to answer this question for you in this video. For the sake of time and clarity, I will give you my quick answer first, but I urge you to watch and listen to the entire video for the details, which in my opinion are very important. So here's my table of contents. I'll start with the quick answer, and then we'll jump right into the details. I will close with my final detailed suggestions and conclusion. So my quick answer is yes, and you may have expected that, but if you have been watching any gameplay videos and thinking to yourself, this game looks like fun, then I think it's worth a shot. For $45 US, I don't think you can go wrong dipping your toes into the water today. There is a steep learning curve for which I am going to create a getting started guide. This game will test your patience, and that's because it's in the alpha phase of development. That said, you can also have an experience that you have never had in gaming before. Now, I don't recommend going just on the quick answer only, as there are caveats as I just tried to briefly lay out, so stay with me for a while as I dig a little bit deeper into why I say yes. Star Citizen, when it's finally ready for live release, is designed to be the broadest, most complete, deep, and engaging gaming experience that you have ever had as a gamer. That's a strong claim, but this is what CIG is actually aiming to achieve with Star Citizen. That is the final destination, and in my opinion, a game you will absolutely want to experience. But the question is whether you should jump in now or later down the road when the game is more feature complete. So let's talk about what we have today. We have plenty of game loops that you can engage in, whether you are playing solo or in a group. You can go mining. You can run cargo. You can run delivery missions. You can do bounty hunting. You can do FPS mercenary missions. You can go wreck diving. There's player-driven exploration. You can go sightseeing. You can do cave exploration. Of course, there is looting, and plenty of it. And playing in many dynamic events that bring the entire community together. Now, you can also take missions from prominent characters in the game that have a bit of an arc to them. Going into 3.18, you can salvage ships, you can race against other players around the Stanton system, and even do a bit of go-kart racing of sorts. Objectively, there is a lot to do in Star Citizen, and this is before even mentioning the emergent gameplay opportunities that you can participate in and create with friends and orgmates. The numbers back this up as well, with an average of 3+ hours of game time per day per player throughout 2022. That's insane. So if you are into the facts and would like to pass on the conjecture, then the facts say Star Citizen is growing exponentially, and there is a very good reason for that. And it's not marketing, it's word of mouth. It's people like you and me sharing our experiences, asking friends to join in and participate with us. And once they do, they tend to stay. Now, to be fair, the game is not yet complete and can be very buggy at times. Most game loops are just at their Tier 0 implementation, so don't expect to play this like a true MMO just yet. We are a little ways off from that. If the next 2 years are any indication, we may begin to see a significant push toward that true MMO experience sooner rather than later. Now, when it comes to timetables, please set your expectations accordingly, as this part is my opinion based on the limited information we have on this. So by the time the game is complete, we should have a full-fledged MMO that is ambitious in scale, its scope, and in detail greater than anything we have seen prior. I believe the sky is the limit for Star Citizen. But as with all things, once again, you should manage your expectations responsibly. Time has proven that CIG can do it. All we have to do is look at how far we've come. So before jumping into the game, you should understand how it is being developed and what that means for you, the player. If you jump into the game today, the experience can be, at times, flawless, at least in my experience. However, the game can also be very buggy and frustrating, also in my experience. It's a bit of a toss-up sometimes. We are effectively playing and testing the game as it is being developed and features are being added. The alpha phase of game development is where the underlying technology and infrastructure of the game is being implemented, as well as all of the game's planned features. Under normal circumstances, this phase is just about adding those features into the game and making sure they are meshing well together, as in confirming that the pipes and plumbing are working just fine and cohesively. During alpha, traditionally, there isn't much priority placed on fixing bugs or polishing the experience, as that is normally reserved for later phases of development, like the beta phase, for example. With CIG, Star Citizen is sort of a live service environment while also being firmly in the alpha phase of development. As you can imagine, this creates a challenge for CIG to both simultaneously add game features and bug fix enough to ensure a reasonably stable, live, playable game environment. This is no small task and certainly not easy to achieve, but CIG has been doing this for quite a while now. So when deciding whether to play the game today, you must take into consideration that the ebbs and flows of game development mean there is a bit of gaming volatility that you should always be aware of. The patch today can be smooth, while tomorrow's patch can be turbulent. I will close this section out with a message about managing your expectations. CIG has been upfront about many things and more transparent than most gaming companies that I've interacted with. And I've interacted with a lot. CIG is not perfect, but no company or person is. If I may suggest, always read the fine print, always read the caveats, and always read the disclaimers. Respect those things and do not ignore them. This can save frustration in the future and avoid mismanaging your own expectations. In the end, it's your money, it's your time, it's your energy. Therefore, it's your responsibility, and CIG is not forcing your hand. I do suggest taking in the information presented at face value when it comes to pledging, when it comes to the state of the game, and then make your final decisions with all of that in mind. I only aim to give best practices that I have personally found to be helpful. These are things that I've seen be helpful with just about everyone who is either content or super passionate about this game. Now, there is nothing wrong with criticism and dissatisfaction. Let me be absolutely clear about that. But there is something wrong with general negativity that has no basis in fact. So here are my final suggestions. 1. If you are one who wants to play a more finished game, where you can work seamlessly through different game loops without potential technical issues or game-breaking bugs, then you may want to hold off and give Star Citizen more time in the oven. We could start to see significant improvements in the near future, but there is no way to be sure until we actually see it. Number 2. If you are one to want to be front and center to a game that is pushing the boundaries of game development, a highly detailed gaming and fidelity experience, then you may want to join in today to see what is there and marvel at what is being achieved. Number 3. If you are easily frustrated or impatient, this game will test those things frequently, and you may want to stay away until we get to the beta phase of development when solving bugs is at a higher priority. Finally, number 4, If you are unfamiliar with game development, or in particular how CIG is developing this game, you will want to get a bit of a basic understanding, or at least basic context, before diving in with preconceived notions or expectations. I say this because I have seen few people apply the traditional game development processes to CIG, where CIG is approaching this with new ideas and hybrid strategies. So, what I have found to be true is that those who come in with the right expectations tend to largely avoid unbridled frustration. If you have questions though, please let me know in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer. If you have found this video helpful, please share with friends and others so that they can consider before jumping into the game as well. Please also like and subscribe if that suits you. With that, happy gaming to you, and I hope to see you in the next video.